A hidden truth now revealed. It was a cloudy Friday afternoon as Maya walked to the little brownstone cafe just a couple blocks from her apartment. She had always been a loner, never socializing much. On this afternoon, Maya was looking forward to starting her writing assignment for her class. It had been assigned about 3 weeks ago, but she had been putting it off, not knowing exactly how to start it. After she ordered a hot chocolate, she sat down in a solitary corner to concentrate on her work. As she took out her notebook and pen, she began to think about her family. The report was about her father. She tried to think of the few times she had talked to him in all her 20 years of life. She had no words. As she stared out at the heavy rainfall, she wondered why her life had been so sad. She had always lived with her mother and brother, constantly feeling ignored and insignificant. Her father left when she was 5 years old, and she hadn't heard from him often. It was difficult to get answers to questions concerning her father. Her mother usually ignored her and occasionally cursed her existence. Nevertheless, she would gather the courage to ask about him, where he went and why he left them. But if her mother's response was not a slap in the face, it was an enraged voice demanding to be left alone. After countless wasted attempts, Maya accepted her father would only be a vague memory. Half an hour of flashbacks and disturbing thoughts had passed when she began to think of fabricating the whole report. It was then she realized she was acting like a coward. Why not confront her mother about this? Yes, it was true they didn't talk unless it was a holiday or birthday, but this was necessary. She needed to know why her father left. She suspected her mother drove him away, though there had to be something more. It was going to be difficult. Casual conversation was hard enough, but to have a personal one felt impossible. Maya quickly took out her address book and found her mother's number. After a couple of minutes, she found the courage to call. When her mother's familiar voice answered the phone, Maya spoke carefully. She hoped her mother would agree to a short meeting the next day. Her mother, Jules, was confused and worried. She didn't quite know what to say to her daughter. She decided to give in, although she knew she was going to despise every moment of it. "You can come tomorrow at 5. Don't be late."
Maya settled into the couch in her mother's unchanged living room. The walls were still white, the carpet still maroon. Jules started to pace while Maya sipped her warm tea. Maya's eyes drifted to the mantel over the fireplace. She noticed the photos had changed. They were all photos of her 14-year-old brother. Jake in his football uniform, Jake at his junior high graduation, Jake and his mother at the beach. Absent was any evidence that Jules had a daughter at all. Jules stopped pacing and turned to face her daughter. "Fine," she said. "Fine. I'll tell you. It's better you know." She sat down and looked at her daughter. "You think I'm such a monster. You think I wasn't a good mom. But I gave you much more than anyone ever gave me. You never needed anything." "I needed you," Maya said quietly, "much more than you know." "Well, your father didn't care about you," Jules replied, "or me. He walked away and left us with nothing." "You pushed him away," Maya said. "He left us because I didn't want to take his crap anymore," Jules said, after she recovered from a short fit of laughter. "For 7 years, he controlled my life, told me what to do and when to do it. You think I would have had a baby when I was 18 if it wasn't for him? I was going places and doing things. And then you came along, and suddenly I had to play mommy while he got to stay out all night with the boys." "You're lying," Maya said. "Take it back." Jules laughed again. Maya nervously put her pen and pad away and stood up. "All I ever wanted for you was for you to love me," she said to her mother. "Daddy loved me." "No," Jules said. "Daddy left you." Maya walked towards the door, fighting back tears. She paused. She still had questions and no answers. "What did I ever do to you?" Maya yelled. "I tried to be the perfect daughter." Jules paused for a moment. "It didn't matter," she said finally. "You look just like him. You speak like him. You're stubborn like him. You were always more like him than you're like me." "I'm not," Maya cried, no longer able to stop tears from flowing freely down her cheeks. "I'm nothing like him." "He left, and now you're leaving too," Jules said. A single sob escaped Maya before she found herself running back to the car. She put the key in the ignition and drove away faster than she thought possible. She wouldn't look back. The visit only lasted 15 minutes.